His toe is broken. So what he choose to do? Climb Mount Everest or whatever? This is what Conor did with his broken toe? This is where Conor was with his broken toe. The peak of the tallest mountain in Switzerland. He didn't get there by helicopter. He walked up there with a broken toe. He can't fight, but he can climb to the top of this mountain. That's what you're telling me. That's the story we're going with, and no one is suspicious of that.
Earlier tonight, the UFC gave us a small taste of what the next event here in Vegas will look like. On September 14th, UFC 306 will take place at the Sphere. It marks the promotion's second Noche UFC edition,
Look at that!
celebrating Mexican Independence Day, and will be the first UFC event hosted by the Sphere. Tonight, the UFC unveiled their creative designs for the event on the Exosphere. Alexa Grasso, who defended her flyweight championship at the first Noche UFC, explained the significance of this event.
All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. All right, so we got some stories to talk about here. We're going to talk about Paige Vanzant's power slap performance because there's a very mixed reaction. I got to be honest, very mixed reaction because I did a video about this. You guys may have seen it last week where I was saying, oh my God, Paige is going to get worked in power slap. And we looked at that video of her that they put out of her like slapping the dummy, and it was on like, it was at Barstool Sports, and it was like, she's got to be trolling us, right? Where she slapped it, and I was like, if that's her slap, she can't do power slap. She's going to get worked, right? I was not bullish on how she was going to do in power slap at all. And I was wrong, son. I was wrong. I apologize, Paige Vanzant. I apologize. You can hit a lot harder than I gave you credit for. But people are slamming her and calling this a rigged fight and saying that she cheated, which is, I think, what's the right way to put this? Do I think Paige intentionally cheated? No. Do I think that Power Slap rigged it for Paige? Yes. What? Just let me qualify that when we get to the story, all right? Because I will stand by what I just said, but there's some context to all of it. I think she did 1,000 times better than I anticipated, but I do think that the organization like rigged some stuff, and we'll talk about that. Also, we got to talk about Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, Dana White. I know everyone is so tired of talking about this story, but we're going to talk about that story right now because I think I just figured out what's going on. And I will acknowledge I'm a conspiratorial person, but I think I know what's going on, okay? I really think I know what's going on. And I am now, straight up, I don't believe the injury. I don't believe it. Well, that's not true. I think there is a level of probability that he was not actually injured that is high enough that I don't need to be totally ashamed saying this on the channel as a theory. But the end result of this is them fighting at the Sphere, okay? Like, I realize I've already said that, you know, but now, after what I saw today in 2 different places, I am going to double down on that in a big way. Hey, you know how every YouTuber asks you to subscribe to their channel and they just are like, hey, can you subscribe? And they don't give you anything in return? Today, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and I'm giving you something in return, something you didn't know about. Did you guys know that Alexa Grasso has an underground following about her feet that she just completely feeds into? Like, I saw a short about it earlier, okay? Remember, I'm doing this so you subscribe to my channel, okay? So check this out. This is a thread, Alexa Grasso feet pics and video, dude. Watch this.
This is muy raro. Why do you ask to show my feet? This is very weird, but yeah, I'm gonna do it because it's pretty weird. Okay, so here's my feet. Like, it's super weird, but it's cool because I've never liked my feet. But it's nice that some people say that my feet are beautiful.
Okay, so I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm like, whatever, dude. It's not. Then I'm like, wait a minute, what is she doing here? Oh, she's she's feeding the feet guys, dude. Look at that. And then this, look at her foot in this, dude. She manicured her toes. She's all, take that picture, make sure you get my feet. Dude, this is like foot OnlyFans, dude. Alexa Grasso. Look at this one. Dude, she loves these feet guys. This is amazing. So you're not going to subscribe? You would have never known that if it wasn't for me. All right, so we're going to talk about that. And then John Jones, not retiring after Stipe, and neither is Dustin Poirier. Look at that, dude. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. And those are the stories we're going to cover. Let's rock and roll. So let's just start right here where Kamaru Usman and Triple C talked about Conor McGregor pulling out of the fight. And then we're going to segue into why I believe that this is all about the Sphere. Watch this.
Conor McGregor pulled out of UFC 303. They actually say that it was the smart move for Conor.
We finally got answers to why Mr. Conor McGregor had to pull out of the fight. But it is what it is. He said it himself. You know, he wants to be as close to 100% as possible. And that foot injury, you know, was kind of taking him off from doing that. It was gonna hurt his performance. So he did not want to go in there anymore. And Henry, it made sense. When you're not fighting just to survive, you're not fighting for money, you're not fighting for all these things, you want to put out the best possible performance.
You know what I just realized? If I tell you what I think later, it's not as good as if I tell you right now, okay? And then we listen to all this stuff. Here's what I think is going on. I think that Dana is in the process of planning the Sphere show. He has been talking about the Sphere show constantly, absolutely constantly. He's already said he's $18 million invested into the Sphere show. And I just heard him say today that the show at the Sphere, I don't even want to say this out loud because as soon as he said this, I decided that absolutely 100% I am going to this show, and I don't want to drive up ticket prices even more than they probably already were going to be. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going no matter what. And here's what he said. He said that the show at the Sphere, the UFC show at the Sphere, is going to be the single greatest sporting event in history. Not the greatest fight in history. He said the greatest sporting event in the history of sports. And he was 100% serious when he said it, okay? So think about that for a second now, all right? Now, if you have looked at videos of what can be done with the Sphere, and then if you imagine, and Dana is saying like that you can't even fathom the graphics that they are going to have going on in the Sphere for the UFC show, okay? So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to do this show. They're doing one. They're not doing two. They're not doing 10. They're doing one. They're going to do one fucking Sphere show. People are talking about this as if this is just going to be like, you know, the normal UFC just happens to be like in another building. That's not what this is. That is fucking not what this is. He's telegraphing it to everyone. I don't think people are hearing him yet because I don't hear everyone talking about it yet because bottom line, I'm not watching that on television. You want to put on a once-in-a-lifetime greatest sporting show of all time, I'm going to be there. And if you know that's what's in his head, you know that's what's in his head. And this is something like if you've ever created anything, if you've been, you know, like each show is its own creation, right? If you've ever built a company or you've ever done a show, this is an organism that builds, right? It's something that is happening all at once. I know this process, okay? And I am telling you that as a person who knows the process, has gone through it, has been inspired, and then you have an idea and you're like, whatever. I think there is a very real possibility that at some point while they're doing the Sphere show, they look and he goes, we have to do McGregor and Chandler here. We have to. We have to do Chandler and McGregor here. We have to do it, dude. We have to do it. How can we have anyone else headline the show? It's going to be the biggest show of all time. We're only doing it one time. We got these two guys fighting 2 months before. Fuck that. We got to do Conor and Chandler. And as I'm saying this out loud, I realize I might be suggesting something that might be illegal if that were the case. I'm not 100% sure. So if anyone who is in the know knows that I am saying something that's illegal, I'm not actually suggesting that. I'm not. I'm just fucking talking, dude. But I'm just saying, I could certainly see a world where that becomes what it is. And then they're like, how can we do this? Right? Now, if you were going to move that fight from International Fight Week to the Sphere, what are you going to do? Got to come up with something, dude. You got to come up with something. It's all mysterious. No one knows if they're going to be able to do it. So, like, you know, maybe instead of Conor having this weird injury where he's not sure if he's going to pull out or not, let me tell you something else, actually. Before I even get into that, how about this story? You guys happen to catch this story? Oh, what was Conor doing over the weekend during the fight that he was supposed to be at, right? Like, he was supposed to be headlining 303, right? Oh, wait, so he didn't go because his toe's broken. His toe is broken. So what did he choose to do? Climb Mount Everest or whatever? This is what Conor did with his broken fucking toe? This is where Conor was with his broken toe. The peak of the tallest mountain in Switzerland. He didn't get there by helicopter. He fucking walked up there with a broken toe. He can't fight, but he can climb to the top of this mountain. That's what you're telling me. That's the story we're going with, and no one is suspicious of that. Okay? Because when I first saw that, I was like, well, I saw that yesterday. I'm like, what an asshole, man. What an asshole. Like, Chandler must be so pissed. I would be so pissed if I was Chandler. If he pulled out and then he's like, hey, what are you doing? Then Chandler's like, well, I'm at the UFC. Hey, what are you doing, Conor? He's all, the hardest thing a person can do with a pair of feet, dude. You know? I needed my toe to fight you, but I didn't need my toe to climb to the top of fucking Mount Everest. I would have been so mad. So mad, in fact, that it didn't make sense to me. Then, today, when I saw Dana say they're going to put on the greatest show in the history of sports, I started going, wait a minute, dude. Wait a fucking minute. Now, I know what you're thinking. People are going to be like, they already asked Dana if Chandler and Conor are going to be fighting throughout this time frame. He said he won't even talk about Conor McGregor until he's healed. He already said it. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Well, let's say hypothetically that I was right. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But let's just say that the theory I said what was what was happening. What do you think he would say? Okay? Of course he would say that. Because the people who bought tickets to this show, okay, you got to wait for the sting to come off a little bit. That Conor was not at the show that they were at, okay? You can announce that Conor is going to headline the Sphere anytime before the tickets go on sale. Why would you do it right now? Why would you do it? Of course you're going to say you don't know when. I'm not even talking about Conor. We got other things on our plate, you know? So when Conor and Chandler headline the Sphere, okay, you can say, wow, when Jesse goes for these things like the Hamzat Chimaev weight miss against Nate Diaz, people can say he's crazy, but a lot of times these things really shake out, you know? They really shake out. In the comments, this is where you say, Masvidal and Colby really do hate each other, and you were so fucking sure about that. I'm not sure about this. I just want them to headline the Sphere, so maybe I'm just creating scenarios in my brain. Maybe that's what's going on. No one knows yet. All right, so honestly, let's listen to Kamaru and Cejudo talk about this, and then we're going to move right along.
In the world, then hey, you don't want to go in there hurt. You're not going to go in there hurt. You got that. You got the. You want to
know who would know about this? You want to know how many people would know that he's not hurt? His coach, Chandler, Conor, and maybe maybe not even Chandler, honestly. You're talking about a very small amount of people who know. Like, you're talking absolute inner circle. So, like, when people are talking about the toe, if I'm right, then they got, man. They got. I don't even know if I'm right. I mean, if he could have a broken toe, he could be in rehab. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's in rehab since he's climbing fucking Mount Everest.
have the option to be able to do that, and that's why the fight was pushed.
Yeah, of course, man. I think that's smart on his side. No, my foot was a balloon. My foot was a balloon. Like, that's that comes to what I'm thinking about this. But I will say this: if Conor's serious about fighting, dude, like I truly do believe, and I think even the antics of him being at the club, like, he did that on purpose too, and he probably was drinking and having a good time.
The art of war.
Speculation means that that this guy could be potentially fighting at the Sphere. Dana White's talking about making this event the biggest event in combat sports history. Throw in Conor McGregor. But
Oh, someone else with a brain in this industry. Look at that. Triple C, smart character.
make the Conor McGregor a co-main event fight and allow the championship fight of a guy like Ilya Tapor and Max Holloway actually main evented. I think that
I like that, actually. I like that a lot.
makes sense. They talked about it. Am I crazy, Kamaru Usman?
Yeah, you are crazy. Let's say Mike Tyson is not the champion. He's not fighting for the belt, but he's on a card. Are you telling me you're going to make Mike Tyson a co-main event? No, you're not. You're not. And I'm not comparing them, but Conor McGregor has earned that with everything that he's brought.
That's fair. I can see it either way. All right. So that's that story. Really quick, I just wanted to show that, where is it? John Jones says that maybe he won't retire because he's excited enough about the Alex Pereira matchup that he might hang around. He doesn't give a shit about Tom Aspinall, but he likes the Alex Pereira fight. So that's something. And guess what? Dustin Poirier also said that he's going to fight one more. Let's go, dude. Put him on the sphere. Although, never mind. No, he's probably banged up. But Dustin Poirier needs one more, dude. And like if he's serious about retiring, like a retirement fight, dude, that would be incredible. Okay, now let's go to the main story here about Paige Vanzant. So let me be very clear about what I am saying when it comes to Paige Vanzant and this thing being rigged, okay? So let's watch her really quick slap this girl and almost knock her out because Paige has big power and power slap. I think Paige Vanzant might be to power slap what Mike Perry was to bare knuckle. I'm serious. She's born for this shit, dude. She's always been super tough. She's super hot. She goes in there. She smacks the shit out of these girls. If she can absorb a lot of punishment, because there's that girl in the division that knocked out the girl she fought that hits like a fucking mule. I will watch that shit. But they did rig it for her, okay? And I'll tell you what I mean in a second. Let's watch her slap the living shit out of this girl.
He slammed Paige Vanzant's Power Slap debut. Vanzant finally got back on the winning track this past Friday at Power Slap 8. In this intriguing debut, the former UFC fighter landed cleaner shots over the course of 3 rounds, earning her a win by unanimous decision over Christine Wolmerins.
She almost starched her on the very first one.
Score was 30-25, 30-25, and 30-25 in all 3 rounds. Here's some highlights.
She really did light her up with that one. You can't see it very well, but here's the deal. So, if you are not familiar with the rules of power slap, okay, here is how it works. You have to keep your feet planted on the ground. You can't pivot, right? So they have to be fully planted, your heels on the ground. So it's like boom, boom. So you have to generate all of your power with that push, but like you cannot pivot at all. You have to hit them. You can't hit them with your palm. That's called clubbing. So like, you know, if you hit them with your palm back here, wherever it's clubbing, it's a foul or whatever. If you lift your foot up, it's a foul. If you get 2 fouls in a 3-round fight, you're out. Okay. And on the defensive side, you cannot flinch. You can't flinch at all. Like you cannot flinch. So you have to you put yourself there and you have to just hold completely still. And by the way, power slap people. Okay. To the ones that do not do this, dude, tuck your fucking chin for God's sake, okay? You should be like this as much as they will allow. Shoulders fucking up, chin down, okay? Shoulders up, chin down. Here is your off button, okay? Right here. This is your off button. The more someone can get to this and shift your jaw, the more likely you are to go unconscious. That is why Alex Pereira knocks everyone out with his left hook. He got across their chin and they go night-night, okay? Boom. Chin to your chest. Some of them do, some of them don't. Now, you cannot flinch though. Paige flinched like a motherfucker every time. And she did it in a way like a person who has done tons of training. She went like, they're coming here, you know, she's like going into it, you know, like in real striking, you know, you roll it. So it's like it's coming here and then you kind of go here and it glances or whatever. She was almost like going into it, but she was bracing and she was flinching. And this would have been called on any other person for sure. I mean, I watched the whole fucking episode. There was like almost 100,000 live concurrent viewers at one point. It went from like 60,000 when I first got on. I think it was at like 90,000 concurrent live viewers when Paige was on. So my point is this. I literally saw them call flinching on so many people. So many people. Paige's flinches were 10 times worse than anyone else, and they did not call it even once. They clearly had instructions to not call it on Paige. Now, this girl took a knee after every single slap. When people were saying it was rigged, I was like, you're crazy, dude. Paige slapped the shit out of that girl. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say it's impossible that this girl, like they had the girl take a knee. But anyway you slice it, Paige hit the shit out of this girl, okay? And she really did almost start her in the first one. That one, she for sure did not fake. Like, there, you know, like she like took it in the last few, and then she took a knee, maybe. But the first one, the one that was right here, we can watch it again. We're actually going to watch both of them again and see if you can see Paige, because this is one, it actually doesn't even look, the flinch doesn't look that bad, but it was pretty bad. But let's just see here. I mean, you can actually see it. That's a huge flinch.
Here's some highlights.
That's a huge flinch. But Paige slapped the shit out of her. Dude, Power Slap should like let us use the real footage and not ding us. If anybody's listening at Power Slap, just give us green light to show all the footage so we can use it and promote the sport. You guys aren't big enough yet to where copywriting us is going to make any sense. Anyway, whatever. That is what I got. Here is a very pretty Mexican fighter named Alexa Grasso, who I heard has very nice feet. You creeps. I saw your video, Rigo. I saw your short about Alexa teasing with her feet. So you're one of those, huh? These creeps in Gabrielle's DMs asking for feet pics. I'm like, I don't understand. What's up with the feet thing, dude? I don't get it. But apparently Alexa Grasso is a foot model or something. Also a very good fighter. Very pretty as well. Anyway, that's what we got for today. I love you guys. So subscribe or whatnot.